There was once a fat, old, grumpy, drunken man. This man is a failure through and through, in and out. But there was one time that his nation required him to go to war with a stronger power. He doubted his own capability. He don't believe he can do it. He don't believe his country can win the war. He doubted his own sanity. But he knew one thing. He knew that if he falls, his people will die. So he rise to the situation and he led his people together. He shone like a star and he brought his nation and win the war against Germany. And this person is Winston Churchill. Yesterday, I discovered that there is a Winston in myself and in every one of us here. It is through my conversation with Janice. So what happened was, I was speaking with Janice, and he was asking me for my speech today. What is your topic? What is your topic? Give it to me. I have to come up with a script. I told him I have no idea. I have no inspiration. I don't know what to do. So after we put down the message, I think to myself that I will be able to come up with something tomorrow, because historically, I know that in the last day, in the last hour, in the final darkest hour, I'll be able to come up with something. Historically, has proven myself once and again. But then I stop and ask myself, why is it that if you give me 3 days, I cannot think of something, but if you give me 1 hour or 1 day, I can think of something? So I asked myself that question for about an hour, and I have an answer. The answer is that if you give me 3 days, I am the fat, old, grumpy, relaxed person. But if you give me just 1 hour, in the darkest hour when things are tough, when I need to toughen up, then I become the Winston Churchill. I become the best Briton in history. And that applies not just to myself, that applies to everyone around us. So 1 year ago, or rather 2 years ago, that photographer over there, taking a picture of you, he came to me, Kim Lun, distinguished Toastmaster Kim Lun, came to me and asked me to be the president. At that time, I doubted my own capability. Let me take this out. So I doubted my own capability. I had that in me. But I knew that if I don't perform well, the 23 cohorts before me relied on me so that we can enter into the 25th year. I knew that the 20 over members relied on me so that our club can continue and we can have guests of honor attending our 25th anniversary. And because of that, I rise to the situation and I perform. But what a lot of people didn't know is, and that includes all the committee here, is I actually failed many times during this period of time. And today I'm going to share what I failed. Any one of you know Admiral McRaven? Raise your hand, please. Admiral McRaven. Anyone? None. Okay, anyone knew the guy who orchestrated the capture of Osama bin Laden? Anyone knew who is the one who is in charge of this operation? He knew. All right, fine. Anyone knew about this phrase? If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. Anyone knows? You all don't watch YouTube. Okay, this guy is very famous, Admiral McRaven. So I contacted him. I said, I want to change the world, and I've made my bed. Can you come and give us a speech? Just 2 hours of your time, just over Zoom. You can use a recycled speech and train my people. I promise you, if you come, I'll give you 3,000 participants. It didn't work out. By the way, this guy is someone who is up there, national speaker, and also he's in charge. He was in charge of the three forces, armed forces in US. Big shot. Naturally, I'm bound to fail. Rightfully so. No pressure giving me. And because this is timed. So So I thought, okay, let's move on. So I contacted Nick Vujicic. Who knows Nick Vujicic? Right, Nick Vujicic, the guy with no arms, no legs, but just with his mouth, he's moved the world. So I contacted him. I said, I also want to move the world. Can you come 2 hours? Same thing, 2 hours over Zoom, recycled speech. It doesn't work out. Then I contacted Sam Charlton, the guy who say when you fall, don't bounce back, bounce forward. And I asked him, let's bounce forward together. 2 hours over Zoom. It didn't work out. So I failed multiple times. Of course, I knew the chance of failure is very high. That's why I didn't share with the team about me engaging all these people. But bottom line is, I'm glad I did, because I go for the impossible. And when I failed, I go to the next stage, which is national best. And when I go to the national best, which is supposed to be very difficult, now it looks a lot easier because I have tried the impossible, and the rest are history. We have the triple champion who came here to teach us. We have the president, the vice president of SPH. We have all the top-notch players who come here and teach our people. And it's all because we tried for the impossible. We aimed for the stars, we failed the stars, but we were by the moon, and that's not bad. So that's what happened. So my message to the new committee is, from the sincere heart of mine, I hope this year, go ridiculous. Aim for the fire, throw yourself at the fire, aim for the moon, aim for the stars, aim high, aim for the greatest dream you can ever have. Go for it. We will be behind you, fail or pass, we will be behind you, and you know we are behind you. You are in that situation. You will rise to the situation. The Winston in you will come out of you, and you will lead our club into success. We strongly believe that. Winston Churchill said, "Let us fight by the beach. Let us fight at the landing ground. Let us fight by the beach. We shall never surrender." I say, well, I'm reading what I said. I said, even if it seems impossible, even if I look impossible, even if people think this is impossible, we shall not waste this time away. Thank you.
Can you just check how much time I have before the amber light and the red light comes out? Well, very good evening to everyone. Thanks so much for having me at this 25th anniversary. All colors are on right now. And thank you so much to Anders for also sharing the Winston in us. I like that little story, and I love it, and I identify with it. But my own explanation of the Winston in us is that I have it in me too, and that's the procrastinator in me. And again, thanks very much for having me here this evening, and very much appreciate the opportunity to be here to speak to all of us this evening, and especially after coming off the back of 2 years plus of COVID. The COVID pandemic. I think it is so wonderful to be able to meet everyone, both in person as well as virtually, to be doing that both at the same time in this so-called hybrid mode today that we are familiar with, both in the Toastmasters platform as well as in work platforms, work situation, work context, as well as non-work context. I hear, I know at the start of the pandemic, we have started, interacting and socializing with each other over technology, over technological platforms like, we play Kahoot, we learned to play Kahoot. Of course, that was even before COVID started. And we have many different platforms like Zoom that we were actually not quite au fait with or familiar with before the pandemic. And suddenly these tech companies did so well in terms of their stock shares and whatnot. But I think I'm here today, I'm talking to all of you. I'm very happy because you guys have showed what it means to be persevering in all that you do. 25 years for a Toastmasters Club is no mean feat. And include that in that 25 years, 2 years of the pandemic of the grandest scale that we have seen in recent modern human race history. So I think I want to thank all of you for being soldiers of the Toastmasters movement, and for really trudging forward, and for also having me tonight as part of your congregation here in this conference room, as well as in the Zoom platform. So I wish all of you well. I wish all of you good health, and I wish all of you a great evening ahead. And I thank all of you for having me here once again. I hope to join you for more occasions in future when we go to the hall for our future events. And thank you very much, and I wish all of you a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm, said Winston Churchill. But unfortunately, our immediate past president, Andas, said, with passion and jest, aim for the stars and not waste this term. This does not give the current term an opportunity from going from failure to failure. But fret not, in Queenstown, we have a long line of past leaders here supporting the term. In this meeting alone, we have 8 past presidents. So, Wendy, there's no worry. You will sure succeed. So what we see today is an accomplished speaker who is fully aware of the audience response, and he can capture the audience attention and maintain their interest. He can elicit laughter. Do you agree with me? Do you see that in our Andas? Confidence is huge when it comes to public speaking, and we see that in our immediate past president, Andas. He has the passion. You can see, when you come on stage, you need to have the passion, and the audience must feel your passion. You must have the stage presence, which I can see fully in Andas. Do you feel Andas' emotion or desire to do well? That is obvious. The passion is radiating out from him. He has the ability to be succinct when delivering his speeches. Why do I say that? He used famous people quotes, stories, and he asks you, don't you all know? Don't you watch YouTube? And he elicits laughter from all of us. Maintain very good audience interest, and he's fully aware of the audience awareness. One thing good about Andas is that when he elicits laughter, there was a good use of pauses. He gives you enough time to react before he continues on with his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, only one feedback. I can't see the transition of the use of the props to demonstrate clearly what was Andas trying to use with the props. It was just the transition. Other than that, excellent speech. Toastmaster evening.